Welcome to the preview of Navigate, the Unified Customer Portal by LifeWorks. This preview will walk through a prototype version of Navigate and what's currently being built, expected to be released by the end of 2021. This initial release will be for select clients, and then we expect a larger rollout to begin in very early 2022. The features that we'll walk through within this prototype will be available in 2022, with additional features being continually added to the roadmap. Working on Navigate, we've been operating with three guiding principles. We want the experience, regardless of the user, whether a manager, HR lead, someone in well-being, or another administration within the company, we want those users to have a reflective, connective, and supportive experience. That is, we want to make sure people have the information they need to access and inform and act on, as well as highlight new information, trends, or details that may not be readily apparent, as well as then, of course, offering supportive information, tools, and resources of what LifeWorks has available to support the individual user, as well as their team, their organization, or their people. Main themes of Navigate include centralized access and information, simple and intuitive experience, insightful reporting with actionable recommendations, personalized notifications and alerts. Overall, we expect Navigate to support driving awareness, influence, and the measurement of total well-being throughout an organization. The unified experience that Navigate will bring will connect people and encourage participation in individual as well as organizational communities to take care of their mental, physical, financial, and social well-being. Let's get right into the experience. For the first iteration of Navigate, users will be presented with a social login or shared login approach. That is, for existing users of administrative platforms across LifeWorks, they will see various options to log in. For our first set of release, we will be allowing users to use their Ability Connect or eResults On Demand login. If user selects Ability Connect, they'll then be brought to enter the information that they currently enter for their Ability Connect login. Once that information has been completed, they can select to log in. At this stage, we will allow users to link their other existing accounts. For the first release, we expect to link with an eResults On Demand. If the user were to select Link with eResults On Demand, they will then be asked to log in with that information. Once they have logged in or linked their accounts, on the next login, the user will be able to select any one of those accounts again. However, they will not be required to link their accounts, as that will be remembered within the system. Once a user selects to log in, they'll then be brought into a guided experience. The guided experience that you see here is currently conceptual, so may look different once Navigate is available. Again, the guiding principles remain the same. We want to make sure people have the information, trends, or support available based on the regular jobs or problems they're looking for Navigate or a unified customer portal to solve. In this guided experience, you see a user can select to see what's currently urgent. Perhaps for those with absence management, they look to see who's currently off today. For someone with access to reports, they would then see if there are any new reports, or perhaps new solutions or services that would be recommended based on the data and trends of the experience. Alternatively, users may use the carousel or the cards to see their rundown. Of course, based on when they log in, this information may change if there has been changes to the information to call attention. In this case, because I am acting as a role of a people leader in this prototype, I also have information and access to reports. Just like the existing platforms and portals today, Navigate will operate on a user, role, and permission-based system. That is, any existing permissions and restrictions to information or data, hierarchies, or regions will remain in place for Navigate. I see that one of my employees is set to return to work soon, so I should look at her case. I also see that there's been some new information posted regarding a recent total well-being assessment that's been completed in my group. If I continue to navigate through these cards, I then see those were my only two urgent tasks. I can continue to view the guided experience, or I can select to exit the guide. If I select exit, once I reach the main landing page, I do see the information that was presented or recommended that I focus on in the very beginning of my experience. I also see a connection to interesting trends or information, of course, based on roles and permissions. Additionally, I will see information, whether that be toolkits, resources, or articles that will help to support with my team immediately, bringing that support right into the hands and front of mind to the user of Navigate. At the bottom of the main page, I'll also see a section that highlights the positive impacts or experiences users of the services have had with LifeWorks. Of course, information that appears here would only be shown with permission of the person who submitted the feedback and would never contain personal, private, or confidential information unless otherwise authorized by the user of the service. Before we take a deeper dive into the guided experience that Navigate is recommending within my cards, let's talk to some of the high-level areas that will be available within Navigate. Where the appropriate permission and role exists, the Data and Reports area will provide aggregated information on utilization, experience, trends of the current programs, products, services that the organization has active. The Absence Management area will provide access to information regarding the case management services an organization has subscribed to. The Solutions and Resources area will provide information about the current solutions an organization has subscribed, as well as additional information of other resources or even other programs that an organization may choose to explore. Again, this will be permissions based on user roles. The Program Administration area will offer self-service user information to help manage and administrate the programs and services that you currently have subscribed at LifeWorks. Just like all other areas, this will of course be guided based on permissions and roles. And lastly, the community area that we'll walk through shortly will provide an opportunity for industry peers to connect, share information, and learn about information, trends, and thought leadership that's relevant to the organization. Next, let's look into the guided experience that Navigate has recommended based on the data and solutions available in my organization. Again, because I'm a people leader with the appropriate roles and permissions, I see that one of my employees, Emily, is set to return to work. In that case, I should take a look at her claim to see if there's any action that I need to take to prepare for a successful return. For those users that are currently accessing Ability Connect, you'll notice this is very similar to the case summary view. Of course, we've added some new features to enhance the experience even further. In this situation, at the top, I see some information regarding the key details of the case, including the case manager and some key dates. New in Navigate is a section for the user to take a call to action. In this case, because my employee is set to return to work soon, I'm able to download a return to work template, as well as a return to work employee package in the event that Emily would be working modified duties or hours. Also to the right, I'm presented with information and support to help guide the return to work plan. As Navigate continues to grow and learn about each user, this information and call to action will continue to be personalized. Below the call to action, just like available today, is a timeline of this case. It calls out the key dates and information in a timeline view to get a brief synopsis of the status of the case. You can also download documents that have been made available to the user in this section as well. If we navigate to the top and look to the left navigation, we see the same areas that are available today in Ability Connect that include comment, which allow the user to view a brief narrative of the case sequentially, documents, case history, and time lost summary. Once I've viewed all the information that I wish to view within Emily's case, I can navigate backward, which will bring me to the main menu of the Absence Management area. Of course, This would be available for clients that have currently contracted absence or case management services with LifeWorks. Here, we see a summary view that shows different categories based on the absence type. In this view, we see employees that are away today, people that might be returning to work soon, as well as people that have recently returned to work. To the center right, there is a chart that shows a breakdown of the types of absences for my group. Again, because I'm a people leader within Navigate, this chart would be based on my specific group and the types of absences that my group has had. If I switch to the all claim view, this will show me the information of the employees that are absent in more of a list view. Just like it's existing today in Ability Connect, I will be able to configure the types of columns that I see based on what information is important to me. You'll also notice that the quick filters at the top of the page remain in place and can be easily selected using the dropdown. Also, I can export all of the information that is available into a CSV file. Let's go back to the main landing page and look at another section of Navigate. This time, we'll use the top menu bar to select Data and Reports. The Data and Reports section will bring me to the data and information that I can see based on my user permissions. In this case, because I'm a people leader, but also have administrative permissions, I can see the data and reports for all of the services that my organization currently has active with LifeWorks. The first service that we can take a look at is our EFAP program, the Employee Family Assistance Program. What we see here is information regarding the usage or utilization of the EFAP program. This information is very similar to what's currently seen today in eResults on demand. You'll notice that we've broken up the sections of reports into various categories. The first being usage, next, concerns. What are the types of presenting issues that people are accessing the EAP for? The charts then will be broken out based on that category. Finally, for the EFAP reporting, we also show information about engagement. How are employees faring after the EFAP? What are their outcomes or satisfaction rates? You may have noticed as well, just like in the main sections, we also bring some important resources that may be relevant as a user is viewing reports. The information displayed will continue to be personalized and grow along with the user as they use Navigate. The other areas of reporting that would be available based on the services and products my company has would be our absence management reports, those reports that are currently available today in Ability Connect, financial well-being through My Finances, as well as a documents area. If we select the documents area, this will bring me to a repository where any of the aggregate offline reporting will be made available. So that way, the user of Navigate, based on permissions of course, will have an easy way to access prior historical information without having to worry to save it to their local drive. Let's move back to the main page. Next, let's take a look at the Solutions and Resource area. I'm going to select this by selecting the top menu bar. In the Solution and Resources area, just like the other sections that we've already spoken to, this will be a permission and role-based area. That is, Solutions and Resources recommendations will be based not only on the user role, but permissions of administration capabilities. The Solutions and Resources area in Navigate is meant to bring forward any thought leadership, research, product information, or tip sheets that would be relevant to the user. Just like all other areas, the information that is displayed here will become more and more personalized as the user interacts with Navigate. And where appropriate, the information shown in Solutions and Resources will be based on user permissions. As an example, you notice that the assistant at the bottom of the page that's been following us through the guided experience is recommending here that BrainSpace is offering a special rate to the organization. This is a great example of a resource, tool, or recommendation that not all users would have access to, given that it may have a larger population. The resources in this section could be something that someone selects just to read online or also download. Another feature within the Solutions and Resources area will allow authorized users to access things like wallet cards, brochures, or information they'd like to share with their employees or their population. Currently, to access this type of information, most often an organization has to contact their account manager, client service manager, or customer success manager. This feature will allow someone to download those resources if they wish and be able to provide those to their employees directly. Next, rather than moving back to the main page, let's select Program Administration right from this page at the top menu. This will bring us into the Program Administration section of Navigate. Just like all other areas, the Program Administration section would be available based on user role with appropriate permissions. We're now able to then highlight for this contact who the main contacts at LifeWorks are for their services. In this case, we're highlighting the support team for the Absence and Disability Management Services, as well as the EFAP program. The next area within Program Administration is Services. This section will show the current services, solutions, or product that the organization has contracted. This area will allow the appropriate user to see the current services and more information about those services, products, or solutions. This area will help the user learn more of what's available within the current solutions at LifeWorks. Below, again, based on user permissions, we'll also look to highlight additional services not currently contracted by the organization. This will allow clients to obtain knowledge and information about new services that may not have been previously discussed or made available. Scrolling back up to the Program Administration, also within the Program Administration area is Settings and Billing. The Settings area won't be shown in the prototype as we're still working on what that will look like. But think about configuration items like turning on or off certain features or products, as well as allowing certain user accesses or different features within a product to be engaged. The billing area will allow, again, the appropriate role or permission, information to view their current account status. In this area, users would be able to view their current invoices, the overall status of the account, as well as the information about billing. If a user selected a specific invoice, that invoice will then be shown on the screen for a user to review. If the user happened to notice that the billing or account information was incorrect, they could request help at any time. In this, will then allow a user to submit the correct information or flag that there needs to be a conversation to update the account status. This help section is available throughout the entire experience of Navigate, and of course, can help with anything throughout the entire platform. The last section we'll walk through in this prototype preview is the community. The community area is a concept that LifeWorks is working on to allow industry peers to engage with their colleagues. The concept of community will allow thought leadership to be exchanged, interesting trends or information to be highlighted amongst peers. We also expect this could be a great forum following certain events like our annual Employers Connect or other webinars and series to allow users to come back and engage in further dialogue. We also hope to highlight upcoming events or webinars that a user could register for available through LifeWorks. The community feature is still in development, and we're eager to hear feedback, recommendations, and insights about what you'd like to see in the community section. If we move back to the main landing page of Navigate, there's one final area that we'll take a brief look at. This area is actually the user preferences. This section is for the user specifically. If I'm to select the avatar, I can then see I'm able to update my profile, account information, preferences, get support, or log out. Let's take a look at preferences. The Wellbeing Preferences area will allow a user to personalize or configure Navigate to their preferences. Things like when to see pop-up notifications within the app, the type of theme, the loading screen, or other types of reminders and information that will bring forward the well-being experience for users while they interact with Navigate. Let's look at changing the theme. If I wanted to change the theme to a night sky, it will then show me a preview of what the theme change would mean. If I wanted to move back to where I previously was, I can then select that and I'll go back to the main screen settings. We do expect the Wellbeing Preference area to continue to evolve and allow for great opportunities to enhance the experience for all users in Navigate. If we move back to the main page one last time, this will conclude the preview of Navigate using the prototype. Again, our guiding principles have continued to be making sure we create a reflective, connective, and supportive experience for all users of Navigate.